Genius Foods by Max Lugavere is part memoir, part science deep dive, and part practical guide, offering a compelling exploration of how what we eat directly influences our brain health, mental clarity, and long-term cognitive performance. Lugavere, a journalist turned health researcher, was driven to write this book after his mother began showing signs of early-onset dementia. Her diagnosis set him on a relentless journey to uncover how lifestyle, and especially diet, can affect the brain, both in sickness and in health. The book opens on a deeply personal note. Lugavere recalls the confusion and helplessness he felt as doctors failed to give clear answers about his mother's condition. This emotional grounding gives the book an urgent, authentic tone. He isn't a medical professional trying to sell a miracle cure, he's a son, desperate for answers, who has since devoted his life to understanding the science of neurodegeneration and how we can prevent it. This lens makes the science feel relevant and immediate, not abstract or theoretical. Early on, Lugavere introduces the idea that the brain is not separate from the rest of the body, it is influenced by everything we eat, breathe, and do. He challenges conventional thinking by arguing that cognitive decline isn't an inevitable part of aging, but the result of decades-long exposure to poor nutrition, chronic inflammation, insulin resistance, and other lifestyle factors. Through extensive research and interviews with leading neuroscientists and nutrition experts, he builds a case that the right foods can literally help us think more clearly, remember more vividly, and even protect against conditions like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. One of the central themes of the book is inflammation, not just the kind you feel in sore muscles, but chronic, low-level inflammation that silently damages cells, including neurons. Lugavere explains how ultra-processed foods, industrial seed oils, excess sugar, and refined carbohydrates fuel this inflammation and accelerate brain aging. He connects the dots between metabolic health and mental health, arguing that blood sugar imbalances can cause not only physical illness but also mood disorders and cognitive fog. Lugavere introduces what he calls genius foods, nutrient-dense ingredients scientifically proven to support brain function. These include avocados, extra virgin olive oil, wild salmon, dark leafy greens, eggs, and blueberries. He doesn't just name these foods, he dives into their unique biochemical properties. For example, he explains how choline in eggs is crucial for acetylcholine production, a neurotransmitter involved in learning and memory. He explores the role of DHA, an omega-3 fatty acid in fatty fish, in maintaining the structural integrity of brain cell membranes. What makes Lugavere's approach stand out is how actionable it is. He provides detailed shopping lists, cooking tips, and meal plans, all geared toward helping readers implement a brain-boosting diet without getting overwhelmed. He doesn't advocate for an extreme or rigid eating plan. Instead, he offers a flexible template based on whole, unprocessed foods, low in sugar and high in healthy fats, with an emphasis on food quality over calorie counting. But Genius Foods is not just about what to eat, it's also about what to avoid. Lugavere warns against the dangers of trans fats, high-fructose corn syrup, and synthetic additives, not just from a physical health standpoint, but from a neurological perspective. He discusses how certain artificial sweeteners may negatively affect the gut-brain axis, and how preservatives common in packaged foods can disrupt neurotransmitter balance. His explanations are backed by citations but always framed in language accessible to a lay audience. He also dedicates chapters to lifestyle factors that influence brain health, such as sleep, exercise, stress, and light exposure. Lugavere explains how circadian rhythms regulate hormone production and cognitive function, urging readers to get natural sunlight in the morning and avoid blue light at night. He dives into how exercise, especially resistance training and high-intensity interval training, boosts brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, a protein that supports learning and memory. Throughout the book, Lugavere includes genius tips, practical suggestions for integrating new habits into daily life. These range from swapping out canola oil for extra virgin olive oil to intermittent fasting and mindful eating practices. He's not dogmatic, instead, he encourages experimentation and progress over perfection. This makes the book feel empowering rather than prescriptive. One of the most compelling ideas in Genius Foods is that mental decline doesn't begin in old age, it starts much earlier, often in our 30s or 40s, or even sooner. Lugavere argues that what we do today profoundly shapes the future of our brains. He urges readers not to wait for a diagnosis or a crisis but to take proactive steps now to build cognitive resilience. This sense of long-term thinking gives the book a preventative, rather than reactive, tone. In discussing mental health, Lugavere makes the case that depression, anxiety, and brain fog can often have nutritional roots. He explores the role of the microbiome, the gut-brain connection, and how a compromised gut lining, or leaky gut, can trigger neuroinflammation. He discusses how micronutrient deficiencies, like magnesium and vitamin D, can affect mood regulation. This is especially powerful for readers who may feel disempowered by purely pharmaceutical approaches to mental health. The book also delves into the controversial topic of ketosis and low-carb eating. While Lugavere doesn't push a strict ketogenic diet, he does highlight how a reduced-carb lifestyle may enhance brain energy metabolism, especially for those at risk of Alzheimer's. He frames this not as a one-size-fits-all solution but as another tool in the cognitive optimization toolkit. His approach encourages readers to understand their own biology and make choices based on their individual needs and responses. In the final chapters, Lugavere circles back to his mother's story. Her decline was tragic, but her experience became the catalyst for a movement. Lugavere has since become a voice of hope and evidence-based empowerment in the world of brain health. He reminds readers that the path toward mental clarity, memory preservation, and emotional balance is not paved by gimmicks but by consistent, everyday choices: what we put on our plate, how we move, how we sleep, and how we live. Genius Foods closes with a sense of optimism. Lugavere doesn't promise immortality or invincibility, but he does promise that the brain is adaptable and resilient, and that the choices we make today can help preserve its power tomorrow. The book feels like both a wake-up call and a compassionate guide, arming readers with the knowledge and tools to protect their most precious asset, the mind. Through a mix of personal story, scientific rigor, and practical advice, Genius Foods delivers a compelling message. That food is not just fuel, it's information, and it can be one of our greatest allies in living fully and thinking clearly for life.